we have one more stop on the F1 train for this season. Now with the last triple header coming up. And did I see that right? 2 back-to-back banger races in F1 in Mexico and Brazil. I feel like I'm dreaming. Can Vegas continue this trend? Well, maybe. Can Norris further his championship charge? Can Ferrari actually manage to finish a race? Not if they haven't covered those manholes. And can Mercedes continue their good run of form here since 2024? Well, this is everything that you need to know for the 2025 Vegas Grand Prix. Now, as per usual in this series, first of all, we're going to talk off about the news and the rumours, although there aren't any rumours this time out heading into Vegas, but there is a few pieces of news. The first one is that the Audi livery has been sort of for 2026. So what happened is, in their exact words, the Audi car got shown on a concept car. Their car won't look like that, of course. They just wanted to show the primary colours that will be on the car. And this is an exact quote that we have from what they said at this, and it provides a very distinct preview of the colour scheme and design of the brand's first Formula 1 race car, which will be unveiled in January 2026. So from that, I'm assuming the car's going to look slightly different. It's a preview of what they're going for. So it'll be sort of similar to what we see there. There'll be sponsors on there. They'll tweak it a little bit. This is just the first showing of they are definitely going for that chrome look, which, yes, I love a silvery chrome car with the red and the black. And honestly, I really do hope they do tweak it, because I can't state this enough. Vertical lines do not work in F1 cars. Take a look at the Ferrari this year. Imagine it was just a horizontal white line, 10 times better. But that's just my preference for it all. And then news that actually technically was while Brazil was going on, but of course it wouldn't have been mentioned in my last video, was that Colapinto has officially been renewed for 2026. Now, you've got to feel bad for Jack Doohan here, because I don't feel like Colapinto's put in much better results than Jack Doohan. But money talks, Colapinto's got the backing, and you could say he's been getting a little bit better, although Brazil wasn't much better. At the end of the day, we'll see what he can do in 2026. This year's a bit of a dud year for Alpine, so I'm probably going to wipe it off and clean slate it for both of them, because it's just such a bad car. There's no point in taking anything from this season for them. And then finally, in F1 Fantasy news, oh my word, they've had to update the bleeding results. Can F1 Fantasy do anything correct? Oh, it's a hard answer. Most of the time, it's a no. But to be fair, I don't even know how impressed I am with this update, because it's not even the same as exactly what F1 Fantasy tools for the changes would be. So I'm sort of still in a predicament where I full-heartedly trust F1 Fantasy tools now from everything we've seen with this season, with them getting increases and decreases, calculations completely right, the live scorings up while the F1's going on. I just fully trust F1 Fantasy tools over this, so I don't even know if I fully trust these updated results. But oh well, at least they've tried to mend it. I guess that's a start. And now actually a few other things have come out since I did that first little news section. The first bit is we actually have a special livery coming from Williams. It is almost an all black livery, so everyone's joking because it's the last time we'll see like large copies of an all black car, because they're obviously pushing away from trying to get this in 2026. But I have to say the livery looks fantastic. Williams have done an absolutely amazing job on this. I feel like I'm saying that every single time Williams bring out a new livery for it. And to be fair, it feels like we're getting a special livery from someone every bleeding race right now. And I'm all for it, to be fair. And I did also see a teaser trailer from Kick Sauber. And I did just want to mention briefly that there is some Qatar news about the tyres, about how long you can last on it, but I'll get into more of that on the Qatar Everything You Need to Know. As yes, it's come out this week, but we don't need to know about it until next week. But news-wise, that's about it heading from Brazil. Now, let's quickly have a championship reminder before we get into the rest of the video. And my, oh my, does it look quite comfortable for Lando Norris right now, sitting at the top. Another swing has swung, swinging in the direction of Lando Norris, as he gained 23 points on Piastri in Brazil. And of course, because he was leading the championship by 1 point already past Mexico, now means he's leading by 24 points on 390, with Piastri on 366. And sadly for Verstappen fans and Verstappen himself, Verstappen all the way down on 341. So that means this weekend, Verstappen is officially in the danger zone of this championship. As if Lando Norris beats him by more than 10 points, it will be 10 unless Lando wins the race, then it can be 9 because then Verstappen can't get that many wins to match Lando Norris. It will mean that Verstappen is completely out of the championship for the rest of the season, as that would mean even if Lando DNF'd every single race weekend, the sprint in the Qatar, the actual race, and Abu Dhabi, that would only be 58 points if Verstappen won them all, so that would be him out of the championship. So all eyes on Verstappen to keep his championship hopes up this weekend. And also heading into this weekend, it is official that Russell is out of contention. Gosh darn it! I really thought he was going to do it. But of course, until you're mathematically out, you still have like a 0.01% chance for Russell, but he can't do it anymore. Then a little bit further down on the standings, this is a very exciting, unexpected turn of events, but keep an eye out on Hamilton and Antonelli. As we go into Vegas, it very much was a Mercedes track last year. I'm expecting it to stay the same. If Antonelli has a good weekend here, he's going to close up onto Hamilton even more. And by the way, there's only a 26 gap between them, which sounds crazy considering at one point Albon was ahead of Antonelli, but Antonelli's just been on it like a car bonnet ever since Baku. So after Vegas, we genuinely might have a championship fight between Antonelli and Hamilton for 6th place. Then on the constructors side of things, Merc really do have a chance to put the nail in the coffin this weekend. If they go and have another 1-2 like they did last season at Vegas, they would easily get second in the constructors, considering they already have a 32 points lead ahead of Red Bull in 3rd place. This is a huge weekend for Mercedes. And say it with me, everyone, but slightly less loud this time. Alpine are wank. But are they? They did gain 2 points in Brazil, so it wasn't incredibly bad for them. I mean, no, Gasly was not bad here last year. Well, in qualifying, then he had a DNF. But, we'll take qualifying. So, who knows? Alpine might not be wank. This is incredible. But now, with that all said and done, let's now head over to your stats for the Vegas Grand Prix. And actually, funnily enough, it's quite a fun way to look at the stats for Vegas. Because if you didn't actually know, fun fact, the official Vegas Grand Prix wasn't the first time F1 had been in the city of Vegas. There actually was a Caesars Palace Grand Prix back in the 80s. We had 2 races there in the 80s, and now we've had 2 races in the 2020s. So, to make it more fun, I'm going to ram both of those stats together, even though one is the official Vegas Grand Prix and one is the Caesar Palace. Put them together and see what happens. And well, on race wins, no one's ever actually won more than one race around Vegas. So we have 4 different winners, with Alan Jones winning the first one, Alboreto in 82 winning the second, Verstappen in 23 winning the third, and George Russell winning the last one we've just had. And then very similar for the pole positions, it's the exact same. No one's ever had more than one pole position in Vegas. Well, Reutemann took the first one, Prost got the second, Leclerc got the third, and Russell got the fourth. And then laps led around Vegas as a whole, again putting them all together, it'd actually be Alan Jones who takes the crown on this one with 75 laps led in Vegas. However, if we did just take the official Vegas Grand Prix results, then it would be George Russell, who has had 49. And then finally on the stats, the track itself is 6.201 kilometers long, 2 DRS zones, 17 turns, although some of them you could barely call turns, you're still going flat out, and 50 laps lie ahead of us this weekend. So with that all said and done, let's now head over to your session information. And we're going back to a normal race weekend as per usual. It means there is no sprint race weekend this time out. However, it might be the usual setup of 3 practice sessions, a quali and a race. But if you're anywhere that isn't North America or South America, then you're going to have some funky times, which I'll get into a little bit. But track time wise, just remember, schedule FP1 and FP2 happening on the Thursday. So already a little bit weird. Everything's just brought a day back. So track time on Thursday, FP1 and FP2. Then on the Friday, we have FP3 and qualifying. And the Saturday, we have the race. However, just remember, because it's like, I think even for me in London, it's about, what, 8-9-ish hours behind. That means that most times things like FP2 might be actually on the Friday still. Qualifying might be on the Saturday morning for you, like it is for me. The races on Sunday morning, etc. So keep an eye on that, because it is a funky weekend of racing, and the deadlines or when it's on, you'll definitely want to know. And then heading into the full schedule, we only have one support series this weekend, which is F1 Academy. And If you don't watch F1 Academy, I highly recommend watching it this weekend. So if you didn't know, there's actually a championship battle going on between Dorian Pin and Maya Wogue, who are both separated by only 9 points. So I highly recommend, because there's no other racing scheduled on, that you should check this out. It's the final race of the season, like 2 races to decide it all. I can tell you, I am probably going to be supporting Maya just because I think Ferrari fans deserve a little bit of a break this season. And also just because I do like the chaser normally, especially when I'm coming in and picking someone I want to support over the chasee, I guess you could call them. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. Maybe we'll get a little bit of carnage, who knows. But with that all said and done, let's now head over to your local weatherman, ZachGP. Hello everyone, it is your weatherman, ZachGP, back with another weather report. Oh, so close from the track. Only 8,420 kilometers away. Well, it's going to be a boring one, isn't it? With Vegas in a desert, we shouldn't be expecting any weird weather, right? So, you know how I talked about me shaving my head if there was going to be any rain? Let's keep that to maybe just the race. Because what is going on? I'm not kidding. When I set my time, so I know exactly when I'm getting this data, if I set my time to Vegas time and look at the weather, on Thursday, we have temperatures of around 14 to 11 degrees Celsius during session times and 20 to 60% rain coverage. What? What? Okay, we might actually get a little bit of rain in these sessions. How about Friday? Well, Friday, it's a little bit less percentage of rain, 40 to 25% coverage. However, we're still getting those low temperatures of 14 to 11 degrees. It's cold there. And the same applies again to the Saturday. It's a very low chance this time of rain, so I don't think we'll be getting any rain for the race. But the temperatures stay very much the same throughout the entire weekend. And it's looking like it's going to be cold again. This is why I keep talking about how, you know, this very much could be another Mercedes track. And I really do think it will be. But I thought I'd be coming into this giving you a very boring weather report of, oh, it's this temperature, there's no rain, blah, 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 blah. There could be bloody rain this weekend. This is incredible. Nothing else could surprise me this week, that is for sure. But with that all said and done, it's back to you in the studio. Now, as per usual, onto my predictions. And as we all know, it is the best predictions on the entire internet. And in Brazil, I actually got 105 points. So I'm not even lying this time when I say it. It was absolutely phenomenal job from me. Let's get it. It's all because I put Norris first and Verstappen third. Piastri didn't get me that second place, but oh well, it's fine. I did pretty good. I'm really happy with it. So, into the predictions. And question 1. I think this is the first time in the whole 2025 season, potentially, I can't remember exactly, that I haven't gone with any McLaren driver in the top 3. Like we saw in 2024, Mercedes were rapid, and I'm expecting a very similar story with just how Vegas is as a track. However, this time round, Verstappen, always in the mix. I expect him to be there or thereabout. He has to be for the championship. George Russell, first place. Verstappen, second. And Antonelli, third. So I do think Russell will bounce back from Brazil. Russell won here last year. I'm expecting him to become the first driver, win 2 races in Vegas. Then for pole position, and I've gone all out on this Mercedes train, it's going to be George Russell again, for the exact same reasons I put him first in the race win. How many teams will get into Q3? Well, last year we got 7. This year I'm going for 6, purely because you get a little bit more points. And last year it was an Alpine, a Haas, and Yuki in the V-Carb. So the thinking is this time around, hopefully, if it's a Williams or something, it'll be 2 Williams, or it will be both Hasses, etc., which will get it down to 6. I think all Ferraris, all Mercedes, all McLarens will get through with Verstappen, and it will be those 3 drivers that really show exactly how many other teams we get in. Then in question 4, we get who will qualify the highest, and going off last year, the Aston wasn't incredibly amazing in the quali here, so I've got to go with Behrman in the Haas. I just think it looks like with the form he's been in, hopefully Behrman can continue that trend. Who will finish the race ahead? I've gone with Hadjar. Again, similar. Hulkenberg actually had a decent race here last year, but it's more the Hadjar just in better form right now. Hulkenberg has been scoring a few more points, but I just don't trust the Sauber around Vegas. Fastest pit stop, slap bang, normal stuff with Ferrari. Then into question 7, will there be a safety car? I've gone with yes, purely because we do tend to get someone just either having a malfunction, having a mechanical issue with their car, or a lap 1 incident that can very easily become a safety car or a virtual safety car. Then question 8, I'm going for George Russell on everything. This is crazy. Let's see if it actually happens. But 25 points if this comes through. I'm very excited to see if it happens. And in question 9, who will score the most points? Well, sort of the same as Alonso and Behrman's fight. I've gone with Haas for the same reasons there. And then the final question, who will be the biggest gainer? 6 to 10 points for me. I do think we'll see someone like a Sainz or a Hulkenberg or someone who sometimes has bad qualifying start like P18, P19 and get up to like P12 by the end of the race, which will be enough to do this result. 15 points, I'm pretty happy with that. But as per usual, everyone, if you want to join a league on F1 Predicts, make sure to head over to the ZachGP League. We've got 222 members, and here is the share code and link if you want to get involved. But anyway, let's get back to the video. So that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. As per usual, if there is anything that comes out after this video, or if there's anything that I'd missed, I will put it in a little comment section down below with weather updates. Any update in scheduling, any updates for if someone gets a penalty, whatnot. I'll put it all in the comments down below so that you don't miss a beat heading into this weekend and you are fully prepared. But I can't tell you how excited I am for this triple header. Bring me 3 more weekends of F1 back to back to back. And then I'm going to be depressed all across Christmas. F1 fans' worst nightmare. Christmas. No racing. No. But thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye, everyone.